So today I want to talk about something super important. These news are so wild. The entire community at this moment is really frustrated and many are panicking. I'm talking about recent leaks that are claiming VARKA, our beloved Grandmaster, most awaited character, won't be present in the limited banner. Instead, he will be just thrown away in the standard banner in version 6.5. And as for Alice, well, it's really bad than VARKA. Let's just say that for this news, the whole community is like, what the F is happening? Complete rage bait, chaos, furiousness, and a big panicking drama. So let's talk about this, plus let's also talk about some very good news about Durin, the 6.2 complete rerun banner, and also an update on Mondstadt's Chronicled Wish banner. Okay, before we cover these news, I have something very interesting for you. If you're planning to spend on these banners, or honestly any of the future ones, here's something that can make your life a lot easier. Eniba. I've been using Eniba myself, and it's an all-in-one platform where you can top up MiHoYo games like Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, plus tons of other titles for PC and whatnot. What makes it great is how simple and safe it is. Officially distributed through Hoyoverse, so you don't have to worry about your account. You just pick the pack you want, drop in your UID and region, and your Genesis crystals will show up in minutes. And for my fellow Indian players, there's a big good news. You can even pay directly through UPI apps, which makes it super convenient. Eniba also has a reward system for frequent users, so each time you come back, you're getting extra value. Honestly, it's become my go-to way to stay ready for these insane banners. So if you want to check it out, the links are right at the top of the description, so you'll always find it. It's genuine partnerships like these that let me keep creating the content I do. So a big thanks to Eniba for sponsoring this video. So first, a quick context for the players. So standard banner is basically a permanent banner in Genshin, meaning you can pull for these characters at any point of time using Acquaint Fates. Let's just say these characters are the ones in Genshin that have not been sold at a very good rate. So to sum it up, the standard banner is kinda stale, gets updated once in a while, and the least summoned banner in the entire Genshin history. And that is why these possible rumored news of VARKA being in the standard banner hit the community directly. Like, people have been waiting for him since 2021. I can still remember the excitement that people had when I made some videos about VARKA. People will literally write paragraphs of comments. That much hyped he was. But I can't say that for now, because according to sources like Doma, DK2, even HXG Diluc are speculating. Well, one of them speculated this, but the others have nodded silently or don't want to talk about this issue. So two major sources have said some things about VARKA. Let's take a look at that. According to Duma, he seems to be in a clear thought process that VARKA would be a standard banner character. Now I'd like to explain his basis of verdict, but I will be extra cautious with what I say. So according to him, X type of characters cannot become limited in Genshin's Note Cry. Now what is that X type? Well, it can be anything: race, class, designation, anything. And for limited, he said that only Y type of characters will be in those banners. So it is clear from his understanding that VARKA is not a Y type character, therefore he has to in the standard banner. Okay, this is what Duma said, and the community was set on fire, because as soon as he spoke about this, DK2 and HXG had been approached like, what do they really think about this speculation? To which they have clearly replied that they won't be saying anything because the topic is really sensitive. So in short, these three sources think that this info might ultimately turn out to be not fake, and therefore the community is becoming hesitant. Like, VARKA, such an iconic character who was literally a living legend, not just for the Favonius but for the entire Mondstadt thing, has now been reduced to the rubbles of standard banner. But point to be noted is, one source, Tieba, I think he's a very prominent source in the Chinese community, has come forward and said that Duma might have misinterpreted some info that is probably not good to talk right now, and therefore he thinks that VARKA is a standard character. character, which Tieba thinks isn't true. So this is what's happening in the community right now. Rage bait memes, community discussions, debates, arguments, tantrums, and whatnot. And I think it is quite understandable because everyone, including me, was excited and literally started to say for VARKA. And it's not just that, one source is saying something and the 2 or 3 are like, nah, we don't know about it. All the 3 sources definitely know about it, but they are refusing to speak about this topic. I mean, I can understand it clearly. People will be pissed. And you wanna know what's for Alice? Well, according to Duma and DK2, Alice might not even be playable. Yeah, I'm not joking, guys. This is what speculations are literally roaming in the entire community. Now, is there any truth to these speculations? Well, let me just say this. Nothing in Genshin is confirmed at such an early stage. For example, suppose they have planned VARKA to be a standard banner character. Now that the community has slight idea about it, I'm sure many of us will be expressing our feedback to Hoyoverse, especially the Chinese community. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure they would account for everything and probably change that character into limited if he's standard. But for now, nothing is confirmed. Although these 3 sources who are big shots have claimed these speculations, so yeah, it's indeed making the community nervous. What do you think about this entire situation? Who do you think is correct and who do you think is wrong? Now, moving on to a happy Durin news before we talk about the 6.2 rerun lineup and the Chronicled Banners. So, according to Tieba, Durin would reduce resistance to Hydro, Pyro, and Anemo. He will apply Pyro more effective than Zhangling in each and every way. He is better than her, easier to build, higher damage, and more potential teams. And all of this will make him even stronger than some 4-star elemental supports. Wow, this does mean that Durin will be the super powered character in Genshin. So, what do you think about him? Now, moving on to 6.2 rerun banners, and oh my god, according to Team Lunar, Mew, and Igor, for 6.2 banners, we would have Nuviet, Escofia, Venti, and Durin. Wow, this is gonna be really difficult for the players because after 6.2, you're having Columbina and the White Horse. Now, talking about the phase for Durin, he said that Durin would be in the first half for sure. So 6.2 looks like a Mondstadt mixed banner. And finally, moving on to the topic of Chronicled Banners. Well, according to DK2, HXG, Duma, and Tieba, 6.2 will be sort of a mixed Mondstadt patch, so obviously it will have a Chronicled rerun banner. Now in this banner, we may get to see some standard Mondstadt units. I just hope it's not Diluc and Mona, because they're standard characters, right? And as for Venti, I don't think he will be in the Chronicled banner. So for the characters, I'm hoping we will get a new Albedo model. Yeah, a buffed up version. Then Klee, Eula, and unfortunately we will have standard units like Jean, Mona, and Diluc. So in my opinion, it's a meh banner. But yeah, the limited banners are gonna be awesome. And by the way, when Nuviet reruns in 6.2, probably second half, he will be having a new skin. Oh my god, 6.2 and 6.3 are going to be one of the most stacked banners in Genshin's history. So yeah, that's all for the news today. Just wanted to update y'all with the current VARKA and Alice situation. Honestly, I'll be in a lot of disappointment if any of this is true. By the way, if you liked this info and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It would make my day. And I'll be sure to keep y'all updated on the latest and best news. So, see you all in the next video with some interesting news. Until then, stay safe and stay picky.